Hey everyone, welcome to day 16. We're just going to go ahead and jump right in. We got a lot to cover today in the last few chapters of Genesis. Just as a reminder, everything I say in these videos are my thoughts and my thoughts alone. They're not representative of any church body. So Joseph is going to bring his children to Israel. He meets them and he blesses them. And something we've already seen a couple times in the biblical narrative is that the youngest gets blessed more over the firstborn. And that's unusual. And I just don't want us to ever miss that. Then we're going to get Jacob / Israel's blessings and curses over his children. But what we're reading here is prophecy. The text even says that if you have ESV. So the most simple but accurate definition of prophecy that I can give you is prophecy is simply to speak a word with divine inspiration. All right, this is often associated with speaking about the future, and very often prophets are speaking about the future. But the simple definition is to speak the word of God. So to speak under divine inspiration. All right, so I'm going to discuss only 3 of the oracles that you see there. A deep dive into all of it, this video would take too long, and I'm already kind of parking here on these oracles. So Reuben is the mighty firstborn, and we see that in what Jacob says to him. However, you may remember in Genesis 35, and I don't believe I pointed this out in the video when we read it, but Reuben sleeps with his father's concubine, and then so he receives curses at the end. We see he's mighty, and then we see these curses at him because he uncovered his father's bed or his father's couch, depending on the translation that you have. Judah's oracle is Judah. The next oracle that I'm going to talk about is about kingship, right? The scepter is in his house. And again, I'm assuming you've read it, but we should connect Judah's oracle with David in the immediate future, so to speak. We're thinking David, the line of David, the kingship, the true kingship, the holy monarchy of Israel comes out of the line of David, and then its ultimate fulfillment we should see in Jesus of Nazareth. All right, also from the line of Judah. We remember Judah slept with Tamar, who was originally his daughter-in-law, and then they have a child. Out of that child comes David. Out of the house of David comes Jesus of Nazareth. The last oracle I want to talk about is Joseph. We should connect the blessing of Joseph with Ephraim and Manasseh and really focus on Ephraim. Out of Ephraim is going to be the head tribe, the kingship, the leadership, the leader tribe of the northern kingdom that we're going to talk about much later. Joseph goes from being fruitful in the land to being under attack. Archers are at him. Um, but then God is his sustainer and redeemer. The last sentence that you kind of get in Joseph's blessing about him being exalted and set apart, there's no contradiction between that and Judah's kingship. Joseph is set apart and favored and blessed, but true kingship is going to come from Judah. In chapter 50, we have this affirmation that there is no contempt from Joseph to his brothers. Joseph says, "Do not fear, for am I in the place of God? As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive." And we remember, the brothers have this jealousy toward Joseph. They mean evil toward him. They mean for him to be sold into slavery in Egypt, right? But God, that's a very painful thing. God meant that pain for good. He meant that atrocious circumstance for good. And what did he do? Joseph interprets the dreams, and he has prepared Egypt and many other nations, and specifically in our story, Israel, for the famine. Because of this pain Joseph went through, the evil that was meant for him was meant for good by God, that they could be prepared for the famine, so the family of Israel could survive. And the family of Israel surviving means Judah survives, means David survives, means ultimately Jesus of Nazareth is born. Man planned evil. God's chosen people planned evil. Pain and suffering happened. The wronged person was still in the place of God, where God meant them to be. The evil the wrongdoers meant, God meant that for good. It was used for salvation. See you tomorrow. God bless.